Okay, we're in Columbus, Ohio, downtown at the Statehouse.
We gotta make it a priority, Ohio. Water quality stewardship means meat-free Monday today, vegan options every day, vegan days in food services to reduce the amount of animals pooping in our waterways. Now we have a precedent in the city of Cleveland having passed the most thorough and agriculturally aware Meat-Free Monday resolution that I'd like to read from today for the benefit of the environmental care that we give, that we provide in the state of Ohio, that we understand as the Statehouse does take up manure runoff mitigation. It is important to acknowledge the benefits of comprehensive meat reduction where possible, because the city of Cleveland is committed to improving the health of citizens in every neighborhood and is implementing a Healthy Cleveland standard to improve nutrition with access to fruits and vegetables. That's right, Ohio. Eating vegan means being able to get adequate fruit and veggie recommendations. The City of Cleveland Council passed a resolution promoting the adoption of Healthy Cleveland nutrition guidelines aimed to help guide public agencies to increase the amounts of nutritious food served, thus improving the health and wellness of Cleveland residents. Whereas the City of Cleveland has demonstrated commitment to environmental stewardship by establishing the Mayor's Office of Sustainability, and through Sustainable Cleveland 2019 is facilitating helpful programs to reduce energy costs and greenhouse gas emissions while enjoying local food and community potlucks. Whereas the Greater Cleveland Food Bank is promoting Meatless Monday in its kitchen and serving over 7,000 nutrient-rich meat-free meals every week to low-income children and seniors. Whereas recent reports released by the CDC show 75% of Ohioans not meeting the daily recommended intake of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables each day. This contributes to Ohio's placement as the 13th most obese state, with 30% of Ohio adults being considered obese. Whereas data provided by Case Western Reserve's Prevention Research Center indicates that more than 1/3 of Cleveland adults are suffering from high blood pressure, and 1 in 8 Cleveland residents are fighting diabetes. We've shown that this heart-healthy fiber, clean plant fats, and eat the rainbow veggies can reduce our disease risks associated with these chronic diseases in society. Whereas diverse vegetarian meals centered around veggies, fruits, whole grains, and plant protein sources contain fiber, a nutrient that knocks out hunger and protects against several diseases. Get with it, Ohio. Less meat, less death. Whereas the Cleveland Clinic heart doctors and nutritionists at the Wellness Institute recommend eating more meatless meals to protect heart health and to lower the incidence and severity of chronic illnesses. Whereas studies published by Science Daily show that high rates of fruit and vegetable consumption promote longevity and lower mortality rates. Whereas livestock production emits a significant share of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere in the form of methane from cattle, nitrous oxide from fields growing feed crops, and deforestation for grazing and growing feed crops, and other excessive fossil fuel inputs. Corresponding studies published by Science Daily show a vegan diet contributes the least greenhouse gas emissions to the atmosphere, but that even modest adjustments to reduce the amount of animal-based foods we eat lowers carbon emissions and carbon footprint significantly. Whew. It's a marathon. All right. Whereas the City of Cleveland recognizes it may be easier for residents to eat more meatless meals than it would be to drive less or reduce energy in other ways. Whereas it takes approximately 1,850 gallons of water to produce a single pound of beef, but only 39 gallons to produce a pound of veggies. Whereas less water-intensive plant-strong agriculture and eating habits supports resiliency to climate change, while limiting the likelihood of animal manure polluting our fresh water and causing toxic algae blooms that create aquatic dead zones. Whereas farmed animals are largely fed GMO crops that are chemical dependent, Environmental Working Group estimates that growing livestock feed in the U.S. alone requires a staggering 167 million pounds of pesticides, 17 billion pounds of nitrogen fertilizer each year across some 149 million acres of cropland. If we want to preserve biodiversity, we can lower our footprint on the environment by choosing meat-free meals and vegan options every day. Whereas over 90% of animal foods come from factory farm-style production where animals live out short lives in stressful confinement, endure various forms of mutilation, and the unhealthy, smelly conditions have resulted in the overuse of antibiotics. Whereas the Humane Society of the U.S. estimates that 1 billion animals could be spared the experience of factory farms if Americans ate meatless meals on Monday. Whereas the City of Cleveland expresses thanks for farmers for feeding the community and supports efforts to promote responsible land use practices and preserve crop diversity. Whereas this resolution constitutes an emergency measure for the immediate preservation of public peace, property, health, safety, and now, therefore, let it be resolved that the City of Cleveland back in August of 2014 passed this resolution that the council declares that the City of Cleveland recognizes the benefits of a diet high in fruits and vegetables and urges residents to participate in Meatless Mondays to improve our health and decrease our carbon footprint. This resolution is hereby declared to be an emergency measure, and provided it receives the affirmative vote of 2/3 of the members of the council, which it has, and has received the approval of the mayor, it shall take effect and be enforced, and after the easiest period allowed by law. Please let this heart health wisdom and this environmental stewardship wisdom inform you, Governor Kasich, inform you, Statehouse representatives, inform you, Senator Brown and Senator Portman, and our influential representatives on the agriculture committees of the U.S. House and Representatives. This is a great way to promote dietary diversity, and we must have this agricultural stewardship expressed. We need our restaurant leaders, we need our food service leaders at schools, and our food service leaders at hospitals really coming out, chiming in, saying we want these pro-plant menu adjustments today.